Hey guys, Keith here, and I want to talk about Chainlink because it just broke out of a 525-day sideways range that ranged from $9.60 down to $5.40. And it did deviate slightly below, but we're breaking out right now. I mean, I think it's a little bit too early to say. I do personally think this is a legit breakout, but we did break down from it at one point. And you could have, I mean, even if I draw this all the way down, it looked like we were going to break down from it, but we didn't. We turned. And the biggest thing, in my opinion, from this turn is this wick right, this middle can, this tiny middle red candle. Like that definitely was a huge flag that we might turn because we actually see that a lot on a huge turn, like Bitcoin, for example, right here, when it broke out of this range in March of 2021 or 2022. We broke out of it, but this weekly candle, again, this tiny, I forgot what you call it, but this like tiny red candle, like showed you that it was basically telling you that it was a fake out. In hindsight, that you could have been like, well, we're holding it, but or not in hindsight. In hindsight, we know, but like at the time, you could have maybe argued that we were gonna hold it, but we know now that we didn't. And Chainlink is an interesting coin because just what it did in the last bear market and accumulation year and then pre-halving year is a lot different than a lot of coins. I mean, this chart looks so different than ADA's, does it not? I mean, this is the Chainlink chart and then this is ADA's chart. They just look so different. Chainlink looks like it's only gone up. I mean, this pullback was pretty massive. I mean, it had massive pullbacks. This was 90% drop, so I mean that's not only up. And like these pullbacks are massive. This was 72%. So in the like when you zoom out on it, it looks pretty good, but when you live through it in the moments, it can be pretty bad. Still, it's still an altcoin, so it's gonna have huge risk. But I just want to say how it performed in the last cycle. Like January 2019, Bitcoin had a huge rally. We know what Bitcoin did in the beginning of 2019. It had a huge rally. Chainlink followed. Then it basically went sideways for 10 months. And I know I'm saying it's sideways right now when we just measured the move as a 72% drop. But this kind of just looks like sideways in like when we're this far out from it, right? Like 3 years later, it kind of just looks like a sideways move. Kind of like how this is just looking like a sideways move of 500 days. And the COVID low actually was right here when the December low was here. So December of 18 here, COVID was there, which is just bottom of that to the bottom of this was 664%. So almost 700% up. Even when we got the COVID low, you were still at 700% if you bought at the beginning of that year, basically the beginning of the year of 2019. You take a look at some coins like ETH. ETH put in a slightly higher high, right? This was the December low, COVID low. ADA, we know ADA, put in a lower low, December, COVID. So Chainlink was definitely different than a lot of coins in that aspect. And I think this breakout is actually significant and it's worth talking about, which is why I make the video. I just want to show you guys, like, of course, nothing's like set in stone, but a lot of the times when you see a long range, it doesn't have to be that long, but just a range that is clear, like this is a clear range top to bottom. When you get the breakout, you do often test the top of the range or whichever way you go. Like if you broke down, then maybe testing the bottom of it. But in this case, testing the top for like a confirmation and then it's off to the races. Like it could happen, but I don't really think Chainlink's just gonna go straight up and then finally get a pullback and retest to like an area like this. I think the most likely outcome for a retest would actually be the retest of this was a 500-day range. So I think a retest is likely, and I think if we do retest it, then that would be a great place to long. And we actually can see there's so many examples of ranges that get retested. I want to talk about the 2015 Bitcoin range that got retested. Bitcoin was ranging between $300 and why does this chart look so this one? Okay, so Bitcoin was ranging between $300 and I mean it was wicking down to 166. Maybe you can just say it was ranging between 200 and 320. But regardless, it was a clear like high that it could not break. And once it actually ended up breaking out of this high, had an explosive breakout. I mean, from the peak of this to the top of this wick was a almost 60% move from the top of the, I'm not even doing the bottom of it, from the top. And sorry, my cat is just like sitting on me right now, but we still got the pullback. We ended up coming all the way back down and we retested the top of the range, did we not? And this was 2015, so the moves are way faster. This only took 2 weeks and we retested it within like 2 weeks. So that's one example. This was 2015 though, so maybe you're like, well, that was so long ago, but it's the concept of ranges, just a range and then breaking out and retesting. It's that concept. And you can actually see it happening this year with Bitcoin dominance. And I've been following Bitcoin dominance for a while. This range was 763 days. This is like current, like this is this year stuff right now. 763, we fell into it in May of 2021. We broke out of it in June of 2023. So 763 days. What happened, even after we got a move breaking out of it, which was pretty big, we still ended up retesting the top, and then like, look, we're full sending it now. So, and this move till we retested took us 70 days. So you have to wait 2 months for the retest. And I know you can't trade Bitcoin dominance really, but it's just another example of a range and how it tends to break out after a long period of, especially when it's really long, like 700 days, 500 days, 300 days. Breaking out, retesting it, then after you get the retest, you can full send. And I think Link might be doing something like this. I don't know for sure if we're gonna get a retest. I don't even know if this is like gonna be a legit thing. Like, who knows? Like, is Bitcoin like faking everyone out like it did back in March right here? Like, this was a huge fake out in March, and then we got a huge dump, right? Huge bull trap. Is this a bull trap? I don't really know. I'm gonna make a video on Bitcoin because I think there's a lot of bullish things, but also like bearish things. So I still don't really know which way this is going. But regardless of which way it's going, we've seen Chainlink actually do, pretty decent. Holding its ground, especially when Bitcoin's, I know this was a 77%, 72% drop, but you got to realize like we dropped to this previous high. We didn't even break like below it. And this was after a 25x, turning $1,000 into $25,000. So yeah, I just wanted to bring this to you guys, like this chart. If you guys never seen it, I mean, you guys have probably heard that Chainlink has been popping off if you like go on Twitter and stuff. This is why people are super excited about Chainlink, because it actually has been doing fairly well. I mean, it's up 6% today. I checked earlier, it was up like 15 earlier today. So I actually did kind of cool down. Let's look at it on the daily. You can see we didn't actually get the retest yesterday. We almost did. I don't really consider this as a retest of the range because we really didn't retest it. For me, a more retest would actually be, coming down, maybe even wicking inside of it, and then coming back up. That, to me, that's like a more healthy retest. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this chart. And by the way, if we do get a retest, if we do come back down, like if this doesn't come down, it's over. Like you missed the move, I missed the move. Don't touch Chainlink. If this just keeps going up, just let it go up until it has a pullback. I think, like I said, I think there is a good chance because especially of how long this range was, formed and how long we had inside of it. I do think a retest will come. We saw Bitcoin dominance took 70 some days, so it might take a couple months, but just keep an eye on Chainlink. And if you do see it coming back down, I think it would be a good opportunity to long it. Of course, like I could be, this could be wrong. We could be coming back down. It could be a head fake. I don't even know. Some random crazy market shenanigans could happen and it could tank. But I personally think that from what I've seen in charts, if it does come down, this is it. This is the chance you've been waiting for, because it's like a perfect time and opportunity to long it. So I think something like this could happen. It still might take a couple months. I'm bringing this to you guys now so you guys can think about it, and I don't know, just plan if you want to, or just even just watch it. Honestly, you don't even have to do anything. You can just watch these things play out and learn from them. So that, because these things happen all the time. I showed you this sideways accumulation to breakout and to retest on 2 different charts. So it happens everywhere. So just learn it if you don't want to take a trade. But if it does come down, I do think it's a good time to take a long on it. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.